Let me ask you the most important question anyone will ever ask you. Why do you follow Jesus? And we see this in 2 Corinthians 5. So if we look at the verse again in verse 14, we see the why. For Christ's love compels us, because we are convinced that one died for all, and therefore all died. And then we see the how. And he died for all, that those who live should no longer live for themselves, but for him who died for them and was raised again. And then we have an example of one of the many actions, one of the many whats that we have as disciples of Jesus. Since then, we know what it is to fear the Lord. We try to persuade others. And I love how you can see all three of these in this passage, but I really want to focus on the why. On the why. No matter what we do as disciples, why do we do it? For Christ's love compels us. And we don't just think that Christ died for us. We don't just wonder about Christ dying for us, but we are convinced that one died for all, and therefore all have died. It's at the core of who we are. It's the very essence, it's the very center of what we do. There are a lot of good reasons for following God. How terrible sin is and how sin will eat you up, chew you up, and spit you out. So I'm going to run from that. That's a good reason to follow God. That God gives us a purpose, that God gives us a mission, that he wants to use us to save souls. That's a good reason to follow God. That we don't want to go to hell, that we want to spend eternity with God in heaven. You know, that's a good reason to follow God. But I tell you what, if your why, if your main motive underneath all that isn't that Christ loves you and that Christ died for you, then my friends, we won't last. It's only the main motive that will never change is Christ's love for us. So let me ask you the most important question anyone will ever ask you. Why do you follow Jesus? Not just why you followed Jesus back when you first decided, but why do you follow Jesus today? Why do you follow Jesus right now? What made you check in tonight? What makes you keep connected to your family group? What makes you share with your coworker? Why do you follow Jesus? There's no question that is ever more important than that. And just because we had that focus and central in our brain at one point in our life doesn't mean we have that focus now. When was the last time you wrote it down? When was the last time you thought through it, you prayed through it? There's nothing more important you can do than to remember your why. So who are we going to be as North River? We're going to be a people that are compelled by Christ's love. We're going to be a people that are convinced that one died for all, and therefore all of us have died.